Shopee, an online marketplace that connects buyers and sellers in Southeast Asia and Taiwan, has emerged as a formidable force in the development of e-commerce data science and AI technologies. According to Pan Yaojiang, Shopee's head of data science, the e-commerce player's business is heavily influenced by big data. She claims that the company is working to improve both the user experience and internal process to improve work efficiency and cut costs, and data plays a critical role in achieving these objectives. Shopee's sophisticated model, which is powered by AI technology embedded in its mobile app, relies on data to provide valuable recommendations for buyers. The technology collects data on shoppers' previous browsing and purchasing habits, and this information is used to push relevant products through Shopee's feed and daily discovery features. Similarly, data provides Shopee's brand partners with relevant insights to identify consumers' behavior, which in turn helps vendors manage inventory. This is especially useful during major campaigns like the annual 11/11 and 12/12 shopping sprees. However, developing these platforms necessitates specialized knowledge. Shopee must ensure that it has the in-house talent to drive its ambitions forward in order to build the necessary infrastructure.
To build a website or application, there are a few key hardware components are required. The three main hardware components to consider are the CPU or processor, memory, and hard drive. If you are planning to build a home server, then go for Intel Core. And if you plan to do more advanced stuff, you will need a high-end CPU. Like Intel Xeon is what you need for running multiple operation systems without any compromises on a single home server CPU. Because Xeon processors support a multi-processing environment, so they are designed to work with other processors to become fast and have the ability to perform a lot of tasks simultaneously, which means it can put 2 or more Xeon processors on a motherboard that are designed for servers, which is what a lot of servers need to handle a large workload. And Xeon supports a large amount of memory, which is ECC-RAM, which stands for Error Code Correcting Memory. And this type of memory is what mainly used in servers, because servers need to be up and running at all times, and memory errors could bring down a server. So ECC is to detect if the data was correctly processed by the RAM module. It makes a correction if it needs to prevent memory errors. So using ECC memory in servers is just an extra precaution to guard against any error to prevent server from shutting down. But when it comes to choosing the best CPU for home server that support ECC functionality, motherboard is very important, because you need a CPU and motherboard that will support the ECC features of the RAM, otherwise it will just run in non-ECC mode. It is compulsory to have a computer to serve as server computer to host your website to ensure that it's available all the time for everyone trying to access it. There are two methods for setup a server. You can sell a computer to act as a web server by your own, or purchase a hosting package from a web hosting company to provide space on a secure web server. A web server is a computer program that runs on computer operating system, and it is used to provide information to other computers on the internet. It is used to storing, processing, and delivering web pages to end users. All the HTML, JavaScript, PHP file databases, and media files that make up the complete website are stored on this server. So, web server is a type of server software, and server software is a type of software that is designed to be used, operated, and managed on a computing server. It provides and facilitates the harnessing of underlying server computing power for use with an array of high-end computing services and functions. For example, when a user visits any website on a web browser, the web server knows the client is requesting some specific information. So it processes that request and serves the correct files to the client. The web browser then displays these files to the user. And there are many types of server software available, including application software, file server software, cloud computing software, and database server. An essential part of an e-commerce website is database. The database is used to store information about the product and services of the website, such as pricing, description, image details, and sales. In addition to this, the customer details are also stored in the database. Their payment details, shipping details, and contact information. It is also necessary to program the website to connect securely to the database so that all the orders are processed correctly and your business runs smoothly. Technologies like PHP and MySQL are the communication route between the website and the DBMS. The server also need to use a server operating system, such as Linux, Windows Server, or Mac OS Server. The server operating systems are robust and stable, and they are designed to run non-stop, and they are able to handle thousands of concurrent connections. A server should also have a redundant power supply to keep the server up and running in case of a power supply failure. A server should also have a hot switchable hard drive in RAID configuration, because if a hard drive got issues where the site crashes or file become corrupted, so it is to prevent data loss and the server can be still up running because of RAID. RAID is what copies the data on multiple disks, and if a hard drive were to fail, then it can be removed and replaced without shutting down the server, and the RAID will rebuild the data on the new hard drive automatically. In order to create a website, access to a high-speed internet connection can be vital, because this allows you to transfer files that will make up your website to the online server, and that will be hosting your website. After that, post updates on your website, then log at your website live online to make sure that it is displaying correctly. A web ordering tool allows the developer to create, test, and debug the front end of an e-commerce website, such like basic HTML text editor like Visual Studio. They are used to inspect and debug the page HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Or otherwise, use website builders can also customize your own business website instead of coding. A web browser is a software application it is used to find, receive, and display content that received from the web server. The mainstream internet browser incorporate Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, and Safari. Web developers and web development agencies test the website, see how it is displayed on multiple browsers across multiple devices and screen sizes prior to dispatching the site, because testing web page to ensure that log and function as intended is crucial. A domain name connect to a company or a brand, and effective e-commerce companies have recognizable domain name. The reason why domain name is important, because they will help to rank highly in search engine to help your business.
These are the major activities we carried out during each stage and the goals when we want to build the application. The project manager and project team all have the same aim in mind, to finish the project's work in order to achieve the project's objectives. A typical project is divided into 4 key phases: planning, implementation, and closing. These phases define the course as a project are frequently referred to as the project's life cycle. The first step is the initiation phase, which includes developing the application and determining the project's goal. The planning phase follows when the project solution is created. In this stage, the team identifies all of the work that needs to be done. During the third phase, the implementation phase, the project plan is put into action and the project work is completed. The final phase is to perform lesson learned research to discover what worked and what did not. This sort of analysis returns experienced knowledge to the project organization, benefiting future project teams.
Now let's talk about the similarities and difference between Shopee and Lazada. Shopee was founded in 2015 by a Singaporean multinational technology company, subsidiary of CE Group. Shopee's e-commerce website was launched in 7 markets across the region, including Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Taiwan, Vietnam, and the Philippines. Shopee started as a mobile platform. As for Lazada, it was founded in 2012 by Rocket Internet. Lazada Group is Southeast Asia's leading e-commerce platform. Lazada's e-commerce website was launched in 6 countries, including Malaysia, Indonesia, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. In 2016, Lazada became the regional flagship of the Alibaba company. Lazada started as a desktop platform. What are the similarities and difference between Lazada and Shopee for a customer? First of all, prices. One of the most important things for customers to know before purchasing the item they want. Of course, the lower the prices is, the more it attracts customers. But how different can the price of an item be in Shopee and Lazada? Well, we cannot directly compare since there are a lot of sellers in both e-commerce. The prices are being set by the sellers, but most people agree that Shopee is on the cheaper side when it comes to small and obscure items, while Lazada is cheaper with the electrical appliance. What are the courier options for both applications? Shopee has a lot of options to choose regarding the courier service, such as DHL, J&T, GDEX, and more. While for Lazada, they have their own courier service, which all the items will be delivered using their own courier, LETS. About shipping fee, Shopee's shipping fee range is RM1.90 to RM5.50, while Lazada is RM1.50 to RM5.20. Shopee usually has free delivery offer during special events, while Lazada will get free delivery offer by purchasing certain items, mostly are more expensive items like phones. Both applications has in-store e-wallet and rewards. Shopee uses Shopee Pay as in-store e-wallet and Shopee Coins as reward, while Lazada uses Lazada Wallet as in-store e-wallet and Lux Reward discontinued as reward. As for buyers' protection, Shopee provides better protection under its Shopee Guarantee program, so that customers will never get fake products and are most likely to trust the store. Lazada only has payment protection that is meant to ensure safe transaction. Therefore, customers will prefer to purchase expensive products on Shopee over Lazada. It will take Shopee 3 to 7 days to refund, while Lazada will take 7 to 14 days. For Shopee, installments are allowed for Maybank and public bank credit card holders with checkout of more than 500 ringgits. While for Lazada, installment is allowed for Maybank credit card, Visa and MasterCard holders with purchase more than 500 ringgits for 6 months installment and 10,000 ringgits for 6 to 12 months installment. About order trackings, Shopee's customers used to visit a third-party provider website to know their order status. But for now, they can get a detailed status in real time without needing to visit a third-party website, as same as Lazada. Lazada also notified customers by using SMS and email about expected delivery dates. Lazada delivery agent will call to update customers about when the order is likely to arrive. Shopee's customer service is available for 12 hours for weekdays and 9 hours during weekends. Can be contacted in Facebook Messenger. Lazada's customer service is available at 6 AM to 9 PM. Can be contacted in Twitter. Shopee has 4 types of stores, which are Shopee Mall seller, preferred sellers, overseas sellers, and no-label sellers. As for Lazada, there are 3 types of stores: local seller, large mall seller, and large global seller. In conclusion, local seller, brand seller, and global seller accounts are all available on both platforms. Compared to Lazada, Shopee sellers has lesser requirement to fulfill because they want as many people to register as a Shopee seller so that they can gain more information about the market. Although Shopee has lesser requirement for its seller, in comparison to Lazada, Shopee is most likely has a smaller market. Therefore, this concludes both pros and cons of Shopee and Lazada. If you're just starting out in Southeast Asia with your e-commerce business, these are the few things you can compare to.
These are 3 improvements that can be done to make Shopee better. First is to ensure that our application loads quickly, whether it is on a PC or on a mobile device. Google developers invented a technique known as minification. This procedure assists us in removing badly designed HTML, CSS, and JavaScript from our web page, which might cause our site's performance to suffer. Cleaning up our redirects is something we can do on a regular basis. The second goal is to improve the quality of our product photos. Humans are visual beings that interpret information based on what they perceive. Users may drag or snap a snapshot of clothes, furniture, or home decor. For example, instead of looking for terms in our search box, when it comes to visuals, our products' photos are the most important aspect of e-commerce. The seller's product should be the center of attention. High-quality product photos demonstrate to customers that suppliers are serious about their company, which offers them more confidence. Sellers should use caution while enlarging the email size. The last step is to improve color psychology. The colors chosen in an application should symbolize both the items and the emotions that the company wants to evoke in its consumers. It all comes down to using human psychology to seal a sale. Orange denotes optimism, yellow denotes brightness, blue denotes integrity, white denotes purity, and so on. Color misappropriation should be avoided since it may have the opposite effect that we anticipated when we began the design process. It's a good idea to use the target color where we want to capture the attention of the site visitor.
The three ethical issues that should be concerned while using Shopee are information security, vendor compliance, and customer service. For security, information security and data privacy are two of the most commonly addressed ethical issues in e-commerce. Because e-commerce that offer products and services online typically will request for sensitive information from customers like bank account information, such like credit card, holder's name, address, and phone number. Nonetheless, as an e-commerce company, Shopee have a responsibility to their customer by ensuring no data theft or security breaches occur as a result of their e-commerce transaction. According to Shopee privacy policy, Shopee makes a variety of security methods are used to secure and maintain customer information to ensure the protection of customer personal data on their system. For vendor compliance, online businesses are regularly troubled by the ethical consequences of intellectual property infringement. Many internet merchants sell items that are acquired from manufacturers, distributors, and other vendors, in order to apply a trustworthiness credit between vendors who owns the brand and third-party retailer. It must establish some regulation and it must not republish product sales. So, Shopee has come up with community rules as a guideline for all buyers and sellers by outlining the do and don't. It is clearly mentioned any deceptive manner of impersonation is a serious offense in Shopee, and by obtaining a license to sell goods as an authorized store, it is allowed to utilize permitted content such as photography, corporate logos, and description words, as well as adhere to the vendor's pricing point. Lastly, customer service. When it comes to e-commerce, there is an intermediary between the client and the store. The client has to rely on the contact methods made available by the online retailer, which through online chat, phone-based customer support, and email assistance. However, unethical e-commerce businesses might make it extremely difficult to get help. But Shopee has Shopee Seller Chat, which is an instant messaging portal to help sellers to boost sales and build customer loyalty.
Nowhere else has unprecedented and unforeseen growth occurred as in the digital and e-commerce sectors, which have boomed amid the COVID-19 crisis. Businesses and customers progressively went digital as lockdowns became the new normal. Providing and acquiring more goods and services online will increase the proportion of e-commerce in global retail trade. According to a widely regarded industry assessment, e-commerce development is projected to continue and it is expected to be the key driver of the region's internet economy, at least in Southeast Asia. Shopee, which is owned by the C Group, witnessed strong growth among customers and sellers on its site throughout the year. According to Terence Pang, Chief Operating Officer for e-commerce firm Shopee, as buyers get more aware and comfortable of e-commerce, Pang predicts that e-commerce will develop outside of big cities next year. However, other than by using the commonly known e-commerce platforms such as Shopee and Lazada, there are also many website builders on the internet such as Wix or Network Solutions, which allow sellers to customize their own business website. Sellers can also create their own e-commerce website starting from scratch by using hardwares and softwares mentioned previously with certain knowledge or experience of coding. There are numerous e-commerce tools and technologies available online. It's always useful to know what resources are required to build an e-commerce site from the ground up.